His truth shall set you free. Um, I have known Eric since his early days in journalism, up to the time he rose to the apogee of his career in the Sun establishment. He also made a foray into public service when he went to serve my brother and former chairman of our party in Edo State, Comrade Adams Oshomole, as a special advisor on media and public affairs. And he's always been a stellar performer in whatever he sets out to do. And this is why I believe many of us here have come to grace this particular occasion. He has also chosen as the speaker at this event one of the most erudite, prolific Nigerians who in all ways also represent a conscience of our country. Father Kuka, sorry, Bishop Kuka. Some of us would not stop calling him Father Kuka because that's what we used to know him as years ago. But he's been translated into the bishop in the Catholic Church and is the bishop of the Catholic Diocese in Sokoto. But Father Kuka is more than just a Catholic bishop to many of us and to many Nigerians. He's a foremost public intellectual. You can disagree with him, you can dislike him, you can like him, you can be in awe of him. What you cannot do is ignore Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka. And by the time he speaks, you will know why. For those who are hearing him for the first time. Our country is going through enormous challenges. And when I received Eric's invitation, his point to me was, how would we wake up a sleeping giant? First, we have to agree that indeed Nigeria is sleeping, and also agree that it's a giant. And when you have a giant, you can approach that giant from all sides. It's like an elephant. And I believe that is certainly the perspective from which many of us would approach the Nigerian state. But the Nigerian state, it's not in its most healthy state. There's no debate about that, regardless of political persuasion, regardless of ethnic consideration, regardless of economic opportunities available or unavailable to individuals. Our country is in the doldrums. But clearly, in every adversity, there is always an opportunity. And it is our ability to identify what those opportunities are that would take us further in this nation-building journey. And now, nation-building journey anywhere in the world does not happen by happenstance. It's a long, it's a tortuous, it's an arduous process. And it's not a 60-year process. Many countries have been at it for centuries, and they're still in search of a more perfect union, as the American Constitution would put it. And that search must continue. However, we must see signs of progress along the way. We must be able to identify those shoots, those little acorns that will become tall oaks sooner rather than later. Because for those of us who still at least saw that good Nigeria, relatively speaking, we have a sense of what that country should be. We have a sense of what is expected of the largest country with black people in the world. And we also have a sense of the expectation that the world has of us, which we clearly have not lived up to. I hope in the course of today's conversations, we would also be in a position to identify those things that we would require to build a country where truth and justice shall prevail. Because to the writer of those lines in the second stanza of our national anthem, I'm sure there must be something in his mind when he wrote the lines. Because we can talk about unity as much as we like. We can talk about national integration as much as we want. And we can lionize patriotism and ask not what the country can do for us, but what we can do for the country. But you cannot build a country on the basis of iniquity, on the basis of injustice, on the lack of fairness, and expect unity to prevail. I know Father Kuka. I can almost guess what he would say to us, and he would say it with wry humor. He would say it with aplomb, characteristic aplomb. He would say it with magisterial certainty, full of wit, full of candor, full of insight into where he believes our nation should be. And we see possibilities all the time, even when we are at the nadir of hopelessness. What just happened in Anambra was a near miracle, because many of us had come to the conclusion that Anambra was going to be a bedlam. They had come to the conclusion that it was going to be a bloodbath. And at the end of the exercise, we saw what transpired. We must give kudos to the National Peace Committee, of which Father Kuka himself is a key player, led by our former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar. But I think more kudos should go to the people of Anambra and to INEC. For making what we witnessed possible. Yes, BVAS was not perfect. Yes, turnout was not what we would all have loved it to be. But ultimately, peace prevailed, and many believe that the outcome of the election is the will of the people. So that points to possibilities, in my view, and what Nigeria is capable of achieving if we put in our very best into what we do. I want to congratulate Thisnigeria for bringing us together. This is a people's parliament. This is the role the media has always played in Nigeria, right from its pre-colonial days to the days of the Abat Macaulay, to the days of Nnamdi Azikiwe. That is what the media has always been in Nigeria. It is the people's parliament. It is the defender of the defenseless. It is the voice of the voiceless. And our media must not shirk its responsibility in continuing to play this role. That is why we must commend Eric Osage and his colleagues for convening this People's Parliament once again and bringing Nigerians from all walks of life to this August Assembly to reflect on the direction of our future as a nation. And I believe by the time we finish, by the time the panel speaks to us, and by the time we reflect on our journey so far, we will know that we're still on the path to unfinished greatness, and we must not relent on that journey. Unfortunately, I won't be here for the rest of the day, but by the powers conferred on me as the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, I shall hand over to one of my senior members to chair this event, and he would deliver the goods in accordance to all of the positions that we hold in that non-partisan body. He shall not use it to score political points. He shall not use it to throw banter against the ruling party. And he will not use it to put you in uncomfortable situation. And that's a directive from his chairman. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fayemi. And also, thank you. And thank you very much for not